So we're going to have a look at Schrödinger's Brit. So this is the Brit until you look at it, and then it's not a Brit. Or at least until she wins.
Should we say her rather than it?
This is they usually talk about cats with Schrödinger, so... But anyway, so this is the tweets, the story. Emma Raducanu. Sorry if we're getting the name wrong, but we're in Britain now. It's going to get anglicised. Yeah. So we are taking her home, and then love heart, British flag, trophy, because she played some tennis, did the Opens, and won them.
Well, yeah, she won the US Women's Open, and the first Brit in 44 years or something to win it.
But also she's incredibly young.
And yeah, she's 18. So immense amount of pride she should be able to take in her achievement. It is something genuinely momentous. You know, it's good that everyone's celebrating her. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Simple as.
Yeah, exactly. Simple as.
Right.
I don't watch sport. I don't follow sport. So I didn't have anything to say about this. So I didn't comment on any of this on my social media because I don't care. You know, I don't care. I mean, good. You know, good for them as a personal individual achievement. And I'm glad that she's doing well representing our country. Fantastic.
So we have the right-wing response. And I thought I'd go for someone like Darren Grimes to show that just universally it was just, British flag. Cool photo.
And scroll down a little bit, John, just so we can see the photo. What a stunning photograph. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a very nice photograph.
It's good.
Yeah.
Wasn't a left-wing response, though.
That just feels very wholesome, though, doesn't it? It's like, you know, woman wins, trophy, British flag. She's young, beautiful. You know, everything looks good. The aesthetics are perfect. And there's a
foreigner.
There's a problem with the bloodlines.
Yeah,
there?
she got the wrong blood.
Right.
That's the left-wing response. To represent that, we have Sadiq Khan, a nobody. So
he's got the right bloodline, apparently.
Totally British. He's not a proud European at all.
Yeah.
So Emma Raducanu's story is a London story. Born in Canada to Chinese and Romanian parents.
Sounds very London.
She moved to London at 2 years old.
Right.
Here in London, we embrace and celebrate diversity.
So she moved to London, what, 2004?
Something like that.
2005? Something like that?
Yeah. But she's 2. She has no memory of the motherland.
Well, of course.
Whatever that is. So anyway, here in London, we embrace our diversity. And if you work hard, you get a helping hand and you can achieve anything. Hashtag US Open, Canada, China, Romania, Britain.
Hang on,
flags.
what helping hand did she get? What is he saying? He's trying to take something away from her achievement. Well, she practiced tennis, right?
Yes. She's 18.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, we don't say that children are getting a helping hand when their parents buy them a tennis racket. That's not what that is.
Yes.
Right. That would be an inappropriate way of framing that because you're taking something away from the young person who has achieved something through hard work and diligence.
But what I think more importantly is, of course, that his framing the whole thing is, she's a foreigner. She's not British. She's a mixture of Canada, China, Romanian, British.
I mean, that's literally what he's saying here.
Yeah, as Americans talk with them, like, I'm half Irish, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, no, we don't do that here. No. You're either British or you're not.
Yes.
And that's usually how it works.
And she obviously considers herself British since she's waving our flag and winning trophies for us.
Grown up in London since the age of 2.
And why would you bring it up?
Yeah.
Like, why would you bring it up? Why would you be like, right, now let me tell you about her bloodlines.
Like standing under the British flag, you know, the image. And it's
the incorporative position of, well done for being British and, you know, but this is just gross, isn't it? So let me tell you about her DNA. Don't you need to know about the purity or impurity of her blood? Let me explain.
She's ein eighth Jew. You know,
it's disgusting.
Kind of
it's
anyway,
literally one drop sort of language.
It could be just Sadiq Khan being Sadiq Khan, a
Which
weirdo.
It is,
no, of course not. It's a lot more than that. So they're all at it, as someone pointed out. So we have Sadiq Khan, of course, in the first one being himself, and then you have Claudia Webb. Because
what's it? Emma Raducanu, a Chinese Romanian immigrant to the UK, born in Canada, has won the US Open, being the first British woman. You just said she's not British.
It's the football all over again.
Chinese Romanians, are they British? Is that places that Britain doesn't own?
But anyway, it's also the endlessly like she's won and she's diverse, therefore diversity is our strength.
Yeah.
Again, it just won't die.
Yeah, full-on politicization. Oh, look, an immigrant from a Romanian, Chinese, Canadian family. Grand slams the haters. What haters? What haters? Who hates this young woman who won a trophy?
Like an 18-year-old won a tennis trophy.
Yeah, suck it, haters.
Well, there's like a group of people somewhere like,
I'm so angry about
can't stand this.
It's so
Americans
weird.
Probably, actually, because they lost.
Well, yeah. okay, fair enough.
Yeah, another verified checkmark.
Half Romanian, half Chinese. Thanks for bringing up her blood. Again, like that's the important part about her.
Yeah. Nothing. They just can't get over themselves, and it's ridiculous.
Have we even asked her what was, the deal behind it? She might have been like, well, it was the standards that really made me just get up every morning and was like, no, I really should go. Who knows? I don't know. I'm making this up. But
no, it's our blood.
Yeah,
The blood.
But that's what they're defaulting to, isn't it? It's like, look, it's something that came from not Britain that made her great. It's like, yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, so there's another sickening moment in British politics. If we go to the next one, someone pointing out that, of course, they're only talking about tennis. Sorry, they have nothing to say about tennis.
That's a great point. Nothing to say about tennis, any of them. Exactly. They don't have anything to say about the tennis. Nor the self-discipline, nor the personal accomplishment, nor the personal trials she may have endured to get to this point. No, we're bringing up her blood. Let me talk about her race.
You know what's funny, though? There would actually be a valid conversation to be had about some of her heritage, because she did a video saying thank you to her Chinese fans in Chinese.
Sure.
She speaks Mandarin. She says thank you, love you all in the video, and it's like, yeah, that could be a conversation, but no, the bloodline. It's the blood.
Yeah.
Like the fact that she's half Chinese. She speaks some Chinese and then said thanks on Chinese media because, tennis, international thing.
I mean, if I suppose, I guess, did she do one in Romanian?
Not that I'm aware of. But I don't know. Anyway, so there's that, which, is gross. So there's an article on this on Lotus.com about this, that he can't slam for race baiting over the comments. Some of the other responses in here I thought were interesting to go through.
It cracks me up how much of a manlet Sadiq Khan is.
Yeah, it really is. So Dr. Rakib
like a child.
Ehsan, a writer on race, culture and identity and research at the Henry Jackson Society, wrote, if you're going to use Emma Ridkaru's outstanding achievement to peddle your identity and diversity politics, at least be respectful enough to spell her name correctly, because apparently Sadiq Khan actually spelled it wrong.
Yes.
Which, he was in a rush. Politics waits for no one. There's also Lawrence Fox making the point, no one cares about anything other than the fantastic day for Emma, not about ethnicity or backgrounds, diversity of thought and skills, all that. I mean,
she grew up in Britain from the age of 2. She's not going to know any other culture. She's going to be British. There's no question of it.
Also, a fantastic part of this is all the just randos saw through this, like anything,
Good.
because it's obvious BS. So we'll just have a few here. So first one, if we go to the next tweet. So first one from, I think it was Rachel or something? Yeah, Rachel.
Yeah.
Just remember, if you are an immigrant, the left will always own you, and your successes is their successes.
Yeah.
The diversity is our strength.
That's exactly. And I love this. So honestly, Emma won because of her hard work, grit, determination, and perseverance. Again, all British values. Hardcore British values, but old Sadiq can't wait to jump in and share her limelight, and not just share her limelight. Hey, your limelight was because of my politics. That's why. Let's talk about your race now. No, I don't care how much you trained. No, I don't want tennis. Tennis? What are you talking about? Tennis?
Like, Mum, who's this old man? Stranger danger.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Identity.
Yeah, it's gross, isn't it?
Oh, it's weird. So we go to the next one. We have some other ones of this. So some people talking about we are celebrating. So someone asking where can we celebrate her achievements. So this person says we are celebrating. We are celebrating the fact that someone who was not born British came here and worked hard and succeeded. It just proves that you don't need to be born British to be British. Immigration is a good thing.
It makes her sound like she thinks that literally the immigrants are a kind of underclass who are supposed to work hard for them. Those native, ethnically born Brits.
Put our legs up. Just relax. Don't do any work.
Yeah, well, we've got the immigrants, because immigration is a good thing. And I suppose if you basically view immigration as a form of slave labour, you would think it was a good thing.
Yeah. Well, who's going to clean our toilets, as the lady from California said.
Oh, no, that was Ozzy Osbourne's daughter.
Yeah.
We need the Mexicans to clean our toilets. And I'm getting strong energy, same energy from Roxy Cox here.
Rainbow flag in the bio.
Yeah.
Of course. So there's one more of these. So if we go to the next one on this, someone else. Stop this silly idea that you have to remind us we're immigrants. Most of us want to feel we belong here. Stop it. She has lived here since she was 2 years old and can't possibly consider herself anything other than British. You lot are obsessed with race. It's incredible. She's amazing.
Yes, and that's exactly it, isn't it? It's specifically highlighting them as not being British and telling them, no, remember you don't belong. Remember you're not from here. Remember you're from somewhere else. Remember you can't really be considered here because your blood is wrong.
And anything you achieve belongs to us.
Yeah, exactly. I hate it. These left-wing politics are just gross.
Speaking of left-wing politics and the diversity cult in specifics, let's go to the BBC, because they don't stop, do they? So if you scroll to the top of this, there's a section. So this is BBC Creative Allies. Who asked for this?
Creative diversity.
Yes. The BBC's
Conservatives, you should get rid of this, defund this.
Looking at Nadine Dorris. Yep. Anyway, she's actually also the one in charge of defunding the BBC if she wants to do it, which Steve Baker and a bunch of Conservatives said they were going to do. So get on with it.
We're waiting. So
the quotes in here, the challenge for our creative industry is great, but not insurmountable. June Sarpong, director, creator.
June Sarpong, brilliant.
She's quoting herself in her own article.
Yeah.
I can't get how cringe that is. It's like, yes, my big brain thoughts.
But what challenge? What are you talking about?
The one in her own head. So the global... So this is her writing. The global and national outcry against racism, ignited by the tragic and senseless killing of George Floyd, there's no way he took too many drugs, means that the stakes for inclusive representation are higher than ever before, and then goes on to whine about George Floyd.
Hang on. So what the stakes are higher? So what happens? So if we don't do what June Sarpong, her diversity and inclusion bloodline nonsense, then what? The racists win?
Yes.
The EDL? No, the EDL weren't racist.
The holy prophet of George Floyd will be insulted.
Then the KKK take over the BBC? What happens? It's just wall-to-wall white people, and they'll all be like, look at my DNA test. I'm whiter than Elizabeth Warren. What are they going to be saying? What does she think's going to happen?
But this is her opening paragraph, where she just talks about George Floyd, because, the BBC is totally tied to the death of George Floyd.
But she's been in media for decades.
Yeah. So we go down. There's the first video here. The video doesn't actually have any audio, and it's literally just a compilation of George Floyd images and BLM images for no reason that's inserted. I don't get why they did that.
Why not?
Because, it's the BBC.
I love that he's got angel wings. He was just an angel.
Literally
a saint. Canonized.
Official.
Did nothing wrong.
Yeah, so she inserted this as well, because of course she did. And then if we scroll down, we get to a section called...
I Can't Breathe. I guess they took too much fentanyl as well.
So, why? The power of allies. The BBC is... I love that as well. It's just like, why? June, why? Stop, for the love of Christ.
You don't have to do this, June.
The BBC's Creative Allies initiative brings together the creative industry to act in a meaningful way to educate their organisers and workforce on how to be real allies. It was never real diversity ideology. This project aims to connect opportunity and aspiration by providing guidance to those in positions of influence so that they can use that influence to improve diversity in the creative sector and society as a whole. So it's propaganda.
Yeah.
Good. Nice for you to tell us. In the
it may as well just
way
be.
Imaginable.
It could be Christian or Islam or Jewish or whatever. Just saying, look, we're going to just make them read the Bible.
Yeah. So she gives a tool here that she wants influential people of the world to force their plebs to engage in, which is the Ally Track. So it's called what? The Ally Track. The BBC's Academy has created the Ally Track, a digital trading tool that is free for organisations and the general public to use. So literally, we've made some diversity training for you to force your employees to do. We invite creative champions to choose from what type of ally they will commit to becoming. So apparently there are different kinds.
So it's a character class or something?
Yes. It's like you can be the sponsor. You can be the participant.
Could I be a ranger?
No. No, we only have cringe names. Nothing based. So if you actually click on the start there of the Ally Track, I want to show people what this is, because it took no work whatsoever, because it's crap, like everything else that comes out of this industry. And if you scroll down and just hit start on, I think there's a start button.
I love this. You're about to take part in a race. Oh, of course I am, but it's not just any race. No, I bet it's bloody not.
No, it's a questionnaire.
Okay.
So let's hit I'm ready, and big brain takes. What's gonna come? Well, there's a bunch of people on the track. You're player number 4. Right. Question 1. Is your player a man?
You're going to have to define man for me.
So there is no middle button, so it's just yes or no.
I guess we'll go yes.
Yeah. Oh, look, your character went longer than other people.
Does your player identify as white? I don't know. Does Emma Radenchow, whatever her name is, does she identify as white?
Romania is white.
I noticed that none of them were saying she was a woman of colour or anything.
Yeah,
because, it's like, I don't care, but it's one of those things that you're going to have to make a decision on.
Yeah. So we just click through, just click yes to all of them, because this is all pointless.
Let's see how great white men are in the BBC's opinion.
No, I think if you hit yes to all of them, you end up at the bottom. So just keep hitting yes. Okay. Just keep hitting yes. Just keep going. It's 20 questions of just absolute nonsense, and you can see the different characters moving around.
I want to know
the privilege scale.
But I want to know what the numbers are here and how they came to those numbers. How did they know that this was numerically more superior to whatever else?
Oh, it's a simple thing. It's like if you're a man, you get 2 points. If you're a woman, you get 1.
Yeah,
it's
but
that
why?
Kind of nonsense.
Why? What? Literally Quranic levels of they're worth half.
Not going to think about it in any meaningful sense. Anyway, and then the results here is just something they want to power into the workers of Britain, identifying disadvantage. And it's a list of statistics, which are all equality of outcome doctrine.
Hi there, minorities. Let me tell you about your disadvantages. That's right, I'm a progressive.
Yes, you're all worthless.
Literally telling them they're inferior.
Yes. That is what this entire thing is about. You can see the first one there. 1 in 13
Bloody
people at management levels in private sector businesses are from a black, Asian, or minority ethnic background. I don't actually know if it's
because they suck? What are you saying?
What is 1 over 13 anyway? I can't do that math in my head real quick. So 7%? Yeah, okay, that's only... I think that's
60% of the proportion of low-paid employees were women. Are you saying that the women are losing? Are you saying they suck? Up your game, women? What are we saying here?
No. It's just you're forever disadvantaged, and there's no way you can make it in the big world. It's so scary.
But it seems like a way of shaming them.
Yes.
Right? Because if it was like, look, 60% of like my children were low-paid employees, I'd be like, do better. Yeah. Why are you doing so badly?
There's an even more stark version of that, which if you scroll down a little bit here, 50% poverty rate for Muslims compared to 18% for the whole population. Whose fault is that? Sorry, are we like purposely like trying to keep Muslims in poverty? It's not happening. It's not a thing.
We know why that's the case as well.
Yeah, so it's all a quality of outcome garbage that you'd expect from leftists, and I thought I'd end this off by just mentioning how much she gets paid to make this kind of crap. £267,000 a year for a 3-day work week.
3-day week.
Fantastic.
Nice work if you can get it. Shame I wasn't born as a black woman, because I'd do the same thing with those kind of incentives.
Oh, I would too.
But I was just born with the wrong blood, you see.
But anyway, there are some people who could do something about this, which would be Nadine Dorris and the Conservatives.
Yes, get rid of
Defund
this,
the
please.
BBC.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed that segment from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to the full premium content we have on the site.
Yeah, we've got some really good stuff. Like podcasts, we can't really put up on YouTube or other public domains because we're dealing with sensitive subjects and we don't want to be misconstrued in what we're saying here. The most recent one I've done is the Progressing to Destruction podcast, which is talking about the actual impact of immigration on the United Kingdom. There are lots of progressive arguments on how the ethnic diversity of the restaurants that you're enjoying has nothing but positive results for the United Kingdom, and that's not true, and we can actually see some of the consequences of this. And so I go through that in detail. We also have our regular series, such as the Epochs of the Lotus Eaters, where we talk about history, myself and Bodade. With this particular one I really enjoyed because it's talking about the Battle of Tunis and why leadership matters, because this was in the First Punic War, where Carthage is losing horrifically to the Romans, and they can't understand why, because there's nothing wrong with their navy, there's nothing wrong with their army. Turns out it was all about the leadership, and all it took was one Spartan general to come and turn the entire thing around, and that was a fantastic episode. I really enjoyed doing that. And we also have the Contemplation series that Josh and Hugo do. This is really interesting, where they just take an interesting subject and go through it in meticulous detail. This particular episode is the science of conformity, and you may well have seen lots of people still wearing their masks in the UK and elsewhere, even though you don't have to. And this goes into why psychology shows that people happen to do this kind of thing. We also have lots of premium articles, again, dealing with subjects that often are not something that you can adequately have a conversation with a bad faith actor. This particular one is free speech and the trope of gay parenthood, which on the, immediately you think, okay, this is going to be politically incorrect in some way, but it's not really. It's actually a very delicate article expressing concern that this is yet another subject where the results aren't in, we don't know what the consequences of this are, and yet we're still not allowed to question the premise. And it's because of the current political environment that we're in. Also, there are lots of other just very interesting and informative articles, such as one by Hugo about how overpopulation isn't real. It's not a real thing. And yet we're constantly told that it is. But the Earth is enormous. And it turns out it can hold billions more humans than we actually have. So, interesting that. And we also have loads of very interesting interviews with people who you may not have heard of, such as Hatton Tash, the lady who was attacked, a Christian lady who was attacked at Speaker's Corner for questioning Islamism. She was stabbed in the head. In very interesting interview with her and various others. You should come to our live events. There's one on the 24th of September and one on the 25th of September. The 25th of September one's probably almost sold out, but there might be a few tickets left. But there are still some for the Friday, where we have special guest Andrew Lawrence, the world's most cancelled comedian, probably, at this point. And
certainly in Britain.
Goodest boy didn't do nothing as well. Very much. I'm a big fan of Andrew Lawrence anyway, so I'm really glad that he's going to be our special guest on that day. But we're also going to be having other things. Count Dankula is going to be there, Mark Meakin, which I pronounced correctly this time, and he'll be doing a comedy set, and you're doing a special secret presentation, aren't you?
My secret speech. I don't want to leak it yet, because the surprise is part of the speech. So,
right, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be about immigration policy, so...
Right, okay. And I'll be doing a secret presentation as well, which again I don't want to spoil because it ruins the fun of it, doesn't it? But yeah, so these will be somewhere in South London, secret venue, because you know how leftist activists are. insufferable. But we will email you the details of where the venue is after you've signed up, obviously, because that way we don't have to make it public, and a bunch of people who don't want to come and just want to stop us from having a live event can't come and shut it down. So you can go to lotuseast.com and find that, and we will see you there.